Okay guys, today we're going to talk about dividing with fractions. And we can do this two ways. First, we can have the whole number. So for example, we might have a problem that looks like 3 divided by 1/3 equals what? Okay, so what we're literally saying here is we have 3 wholes. So let's model that. Okay. Here's 1 whole, 2 wholes, 3 wholes. All right, so I'm literally saying I'm going to take 3 and I'm going to divide it into 1/3 pieces. How many 1/3 pieces can I get? So I come down here and I divide it. All right, so now each of my wholes, 1, 2, 3, are divided into 1/3 pieces. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Okay, so now I'm going to ask myself, how many 1/3 pieces was I able to make? Okay, so now I'm going to count those. I was able to make 1 1/3 piece, 2 1/3 pieces, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the answer to my question here is, if I take 3 and I divide it into 1/3 pieces, I was able to make 9 pieces. So I've discovered something. When I start with a whole number, I'm going to end with that whole number because I'm asking how many pieces was I able to make, and I'm describing the number of pieces. So 3 divided by 1/3 equals 9. Now, let's take a look at another example. With this example, let's start with a fraction first. So we'll take our same two numbers here, okay, 3 and 1/3, but let's flip-flop them and let's divide the fraction. So let's take 1/3 and divide it by 3. Okay, and we want to know, what does that equal? Okay, well this is going to start out looking different. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do my model again, but this time I'm only going to draw 1 whole and I'm going to split it into thirds. Okay, all right, and I'm only going to shade in 1/3. Okay, because that's going to represent our fraction here. Now, this literally says I have 1/3 and I'm dividing it into 3 groups. And then our question will be, how much of our fraction will be in one group of the 3. Okay. All right, so here we have our fraction. We want to know how many in one of those groups. So let's go ahead and divide it into 3. I'm going to do a dotted line to represent that division. All right, so now I want to know how much of our fraction, 1/3, will be in one of the groups of the 3. Okay, so here's the 3. And then how much is that? Well, let's count. That is 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so how much of the fraction will I get? I will get 1/9 of that. So I want you to notice, when we take a fraction, we begin with the fraction 1/3, and we divide it by that whole number, we're going to end with a fraction. So if we start with a whole number, we'll end with a whole number. If we start with a fraction, we're going to end with a fraction.